Good morning, everyone. We're tracking major Hurricane Idalia as it's pushing its way into the northwestern coast of Florida as a Category 3, a strong Category 3 hurricane. Sustained winds right now at 125 miles an hour and moving very quickly to the north-northeast right now at 18 miles an hour. Pressure has been weakening on it a little bit as it's getting closer and closer to the coast. It's starting to get a little bit less energy, but it's still going to maintain hurricane strength, pushing its way into South Georgia. That's going to be right around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Still sustained winds at 100 miles an hour and even maintaining tropical storm strength, pushing its way into South and North Carolina before receding out into the Atlantic, kind of following a very similar path to what Hurricane Franklin right now is going through. Major Hurricane Franklin, Category 3 storm. This is the one that actually hit the Dominican Republic just last week. So still very active time in the tropics. So we're keeping our eye on it, especially given the fact that, well, you guys remember how hot it's been this summer. We had that big high pressure heat dome, and that was sitting not over Texas, but also over the southeastern U.S. That left the Gulf very warm. We're still in those mid to even upper 80s, even going into the afternoon, yeah, easily hitting that 90-degree mark. So, of course, we got the eye on the hurricanes. Big rainfall totals, especially for the entire Florida Panhandle, southern Georgia, South Carolina, going up into North Carolina, anywhere from 5 to 7 or more inches of rainfall as the storm comes through. And that's not even including the storm surge. So future track model is showing this entire system pushing along the I-95 corridor, receding back out into the Atlantic after it hits North Carolina based on this model, and then kind of just becoming a fish storm more than anything else. Locally here, well, remember that cold front we saw that was going to be over the weekend. Yeah. We got some cooler temperatures. I'm certainly not going to complain about it, but notice as it's actually causing the entire hurricane to go farther to the east coast. That's exactly why we watch the weather when we do, because even something as far west as Texas can affect something out in Florida. As you're waking up this morning with us, well, we're watching those winds, and they're not really doing a whole lot. Yesterday, they maintained a strong northerly flow. Now, they're still going to do that today. That's actually going to prevent us from hitting that triple-digit mark, but we're still going to warm up relatively quickly as those winds stay pretty calm. So your lunch hour, we're back into those 90s. Now, keep in mind, despite the fact we don't have very strong winds, we still have that elevated fire threat given how hot, given how dry everything has been, and the fact that we're still under significant drought situation. Of course, by tonight, though, you got clear skies, you got calm winds. That means we drop down to about 72 degrees. I'm certainly taking that, considering that's a lot nicer than what we've seen over the past couple of weeks in terms of weather conditions. Notice there's going to be a little bit more change coming up. Nothing big or significant with weather systems, but I'm talking about the winds. They're going to become more of an easterly flow and then change to a more southerly flow going into your Friday and Saturday. Now, for us, that just means we're going to start to see those triple-digit temperatures coming back for central Texas and, of course, the Brazos Valley. But it's still going to stay very dry. I got plenty of sunshine in the forecast. Now, with dry conditions, heat index values should be very close to the air temperature. If that stays the case throughout the weekend, you know what? I don't see the need for any of those heat warnings or heat advisories.